industry is no longer just a vendor for us. It's a strategic partner. We are developing things together. We are moving on from just government-owned institutions to private institutions, holding their hands, telling them our requirements well so that they are able to develop things which are for us, and also put the scientific ideas into products. Though we say this is the time to collaborate, we talk about Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, but when it comes to military, I don't think you can say that everything is, collaborative. You have to have some aces up your sleeve. So we need to learn from that and make sure that that technology is indigenous. Every time we have a deal with a bigger nation from where we are buying some equipment or getting some equipment to make in India, there is a counter or a parallel deal for them to buy something from us.
A very warm and rejuvenating afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I formally welcome our guest, Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh, Param Vishishta Seva Medal, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Chief of the Air Staff. Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh was commissioned into the fighter stream of the Indian Air Force on 21st December 1984. He is an alumnus of the National Defense Academy, Defense Services Staff College, and National Defense College. He's a qualified flying instructor and an experimental test pilot with over 5,000 flying hours on a variety of fixed and rotary wing aircraft. During his career, he has donated a number of staff and command appointments before taking over as the 28th Chief of the Air Staff. For his distinguished service, he has been awarded the Param Vishishta Seva Medal and the Ati Vishishta Seva Medal. I would now like to take this opportunity to invite our honorable guest to deliver his address to the students. Sir, please.
Respected Principal, ma'am, distinguished members of the faculty, guests, young and dynamic students, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you. So we'll start with the Jai Hind, okay? Jai Hind! So let's see if it becomes louder after I finish my talk. It's really indeed a big honor for me to be here and addressing you all. Having left school and halfway through my 12th, I never went to any college. It was my distant dream to join one of the colleges in Delhi. I'm a Delhiite. And of course, I would have never dreamt of coming to SRCC because I was very bad at studies. I only used to study science subjects. But always thought that someday I will be in a good college and life will be normal, till somehow it got decided and I appeared for my National Defense Academy exam and cleared it, and I went there. So there went my college dream. But the little bit of it I lived through the stories told by my children, whatever they did in their college. And some of it I'm reliving by now, being invited for functions like this, when I find so much of energy that I find in youth, that it inspires me to do even better in whatever I am doing. So, when I visit a college, I don't see it as a college. Here I'm in a university, and I believe students from many colleges, many renowned colleges are here. And this is not just congregation of colleges, congregation of ideas, congregation of dreams, ambitions, leadership, and the nationalism, the feeling of nationalism. And you guys, all of you, all those young students who are here, are the future of this country. You are the ones on which are the foundation on which the nation will be built. And people who are studying commerce, since most of you are from that field, I think our economy, you are going to be the drivers of our economy. I've been given this subject, somebody told me when we just met a few minutes ago that, we were a bit nervous receiving you. So I told him, you don't know how nervous I am today, for the kind of people that I am going to address. Because this is just not my subject, commerce and economy. But I will try and put something together, whatever little bit I know about. And because my subject is totally different. Commerce has been the driving force. People have been trading through various means, and that trading has been, they've been exchanging ideas, they've been taking cultures from one society to the other, one civilization to the other, and that has been the route to growth of any civilization. And that is how the cultures developed, the societies developed, and also the wealth was created. And also exchange of knowledge, exchange of ideas that took place. When we talk about commerce, it is not just producing goods, it's not just developing ideas, it is putting them into production and also making sure that they get to the right people, finding the market to be able to sell them, to be able to make them reach the right people. So that's why the total national growth becomes a part of the commerce. If you don't have good infrastructure, if you don't have good road transportation system, if you don't have good banking system, it will start affecting our commerce. And when we talk about commerce, obviously, the economy depends on that. That is the wealth generating system that we have. So, traditionally, we've been talking about commerce as maybe just a trade, but otherwise, commerce involves everything. It's like a circulatory system of an economy. Like a body doesn't function without a circulatory system. Similarly, an economy will die without commerce. This is what I understand. And, it connects the producers to consumers, the way I said, and ideas to execution, innovations to impact, aspirations to opportunities. Wherever commerce is vibrant, you find economic activity flourishes. Where the commerce is inclusive, the societies rise, and where commerce is ethical and forward-looking, the nations progress sustainably. So I'm sure what I'm talking about now, all this has been taught to you during your, study of commerce, and we all have to remember that when it is responsibly designed, it becomes a tool of social upliftment and growth. So whatever we do, we need to make sure that this is designed well, designed ethically. Just remember, it is not, like I keep telling all the business people, it is not just the money that matters. It is what name you earn that matters. And similarly, when it comes to commerce and trade in terms of, between countries or between companies, again, your name matters more than what you earn. It is not short-term gain that you're looking for long-term gains. Now, I think my sweating is going to reduce a bit because I'm shifting topic a bit. Comprehensive national power of any country rests on 4 elements. It's called DIME: diplomacy, information, military, and economy. And all of these have to be strong for a country to be strong. All of these are very interactive. They are interrelated. And amongst these, the economy and military, according to me, they have a very, very close relation. Because what as a military, like if I talk about Air Force, any defense force will require 3 things: the resource, the technology, and the human capital. And for all these 3, we need money. And that comes from a strong economy. So, if I say that a strong economy is essential to maintain a strong military, I'm not wrong. But I see the other way around also. A strong military is also as important for a strong economy. Because you would like your trade routes to be open. You would like the freedom to choose whom you trade with. And that freedom will only come if you have strong military. We may keep talking about, that no, we don't believe in war, we don't believe in aggressive attitude. We are a peace-loving nation. But I have said this earlier also. The famous lines of the poem, Kshama, Shobati, us Bhujang ko, jiske paas garal ho. मैं क्या जो और उसका क्या जो दंतहीन विषहीन विनीत सरल हो. So we need to be a strong military to make sure that we have the freedom to choose whom we trade with. We have the freedom to choose the kind of path that we want to chart. We have the freedom to decide our course. And that will only come if we are able to deter the enemy from any, whether he's a state actor or a non-state actor, to be able to make sure that our trade routes are open, to be able to make sure that we have this freedom of choice. World over, what is happening, or what was happening and is happening, the wars that we see, again, bringing out a fact that you need to have a strong military to stand. We saw what happened in our own country. We had that Pahalgam attack. And then after Operation Sindoor, we were able to show them their place because we were strong enough. We not only, took those terrorists to task by hitting the infrastructure, but when we were counterattacked, we were able to defend ourselves very well and also inflict damage to their military institutions, which is all over in the news. You've been reading about it and you've been seeing. So that really tells us that what we need to do. And I keep saying that we can't be sitting basking in our glory. We need to be progressing. We need to be working for tomorrow. In case we need to do a similar thing tomorrow, we should be fully prepared for that. And what do we need as Air Force? What do I need to be a strong Air Force? I need a robust industrial base, reliable supply chains, indigenous technology, and of course, skilled and motivated human capital. Because every aircraft that we fly, every radar that we operate, every weapon system that we use, it has commerce, industry, enterprise behind it. And we therefore cannot, take commerce out of defense. They are very much related to each other. And industry is no longer just a vendor for us. It's a strategic partner. We are developing things together. We are moving on from just government-owned institutions to private institutions, holding their hands, telling them our requirements well so that they are able to develop things which are for us, and also put the scientific ideas into products. Also, not only just private manufacturers, even startups and that MSMEs, the academia, the research institutions are all partnering with defense forces now to make sure that we are able to fast track the time between an idea to a product, and product which is still wanted. We must understand that in modern warfare, though it was always, but in modern warfare, the technology becomes very important. You can say that it's the man behind the machine that makes a difference. Yes, provided the machines are somewhere equally capable. But if there is a vast difference in the type of machine that one uses to the other, then even that man behind the machine may not be able to sustain. Just imagine if you're fighting a war where you have a sword in your hand and the other side has a gun. You will not be able to fight. So if gun has come into the, it's already been developed, you need to get to that gun as fast as possible. So that is the requirement. So technology has to be keeping pace with what is happening around the world. And that technology has to be available to you without fail. When the technology is a bought-out technology, it becomes, you're dependent on that other nation. And in politics, in geopolitics, there are no friends or enemies. There are permanent interests, that's all. So you will not say that this nation is my friend, so I can keep buying things from. You see what is happening between America and Europe. So we need to learn from that and make sure that that technology is indigenous. It will not happen overnight. If I say that, that tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll start using everything Indian, may not be possible. But wherever it is possible, we should start that. Wherever it is not possible, let's start first, take the first step of make in India. Get that technology to India, maybe by paying price. So you're making in India, but it should finally lead to designing and developing in India. Further to research and design in India. And that means you, right from your idea to where you land up, everything is done within your country. Though we say this is the time to collaborate, we talk about Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, but when it comes to military, I don't think you can say that everything is, collaborative. You have to have some aces up your sleeve. And this is what our own industry will give us. And the work is progressing towards that. These small enterprises, MSMEs and startups, they are, according to me, the silent nation builders. A lot of work gets, they have a lot of ideas, but they need somebody to hold their hands. In a commercial scenario, you have incubators, you have those so-called shark tanks and those people who are ready to put their money because they are looking for returns. But unfortunately, in matters of defense, you may not have commercial returns the way you want. So somebody has to hold that hand. Government realizes that. And we have a lot of programs like MAKE, IDEX, which is so that in the research and development, the government money is put. Those people don't land up spending their own money and having a failure and not able to generate something. So that part is where we are working. And a lot of number of contracts have been signed, and I'm very happy to say that the domestic industry is really responding very well. We are also trying to buy some small equipment outright from outside. We are trying to have some Make in India programs. We are trying to have some research and development going on with the private industry as well as with the Defense Research and Development Organization. And I'm sure over a period of time, in a few years, we will be in much better state than we are today. And by 2047, which is our dream year to be, in the Amrit Kal, we should be able to be totally self-reliant, the AtmaNirbhar Bharat that we talk about. I have some figures here that, in 24-25, the capital defense budget, the 90% of it was spent on indigenous items. In 24-25, again, we achieved the highest ever defense production of 1 lakh crores, which is tripled in the last 10 years, if you compare it to the 10-year back. And similarly, our defense exports have gone exponentially high. Yes, at the moment, defense exports do not have big items in it. They are into, smaller components and smaller weapon systems. But I'm sure slowly with things like Tejas and so many of other the ships being produced in India, we will surely be exporting these items also. But again, if I can give you a figure, in 10 years back, it was 686 crores. And in last budget year, it is 23,600 crores. So more than 30 times it has grown in last 10 years. So that you can see is the growth rate today. And I'm sure with the, driven by the policy reforms and the initiatives towards ease of doing business and this push that the government is giving to self-reliance, we are already exporting to more than 100 nations, and this list is going to continue to grow, and some big players are going to come in. Every time we have a deal with a bigger nation from where we are buying some equipment or getting some equipment to make in India, there is a counter or a parallel deal for them to buy something from us. And that is what is going to give us the growth. So on the whole, I feel that the nation's economy and the military are growing at a good pace. They are developing, and I'm sure India has a very bright future. And like I said, you are the people who are going to, you are the youth spark that we have, and you are the ones who are going to take us all forward. For a nation which has got such a large number of dynamic young population, it is not a dream anymore. It is going to be a reality very soon. So I'm going to spend a little time on my favorite topic. That is, I'm going to talk about few things that you can take it as sermons, you can take it as pearls of wisdom. Wisdom, I don't know whether I have one or, but it's all acquired. But some of this I have seen myself in my life. Some of it I have always tried to follow, may not have been able to follow fully. But I'm very convinced that these are the things that we need to do as young people. Young means in your teens and 20s. So some points that I have is, one is, excellence. When we talk about excellence, excellence is not just one-time activity. It is a habit. Unless we get into the habit of excellence, we will not achieve it. It may happen in one odd case, that in one odd event or something we did well. But if we are looking for excellence in each and every activity that you do, if you're looking for exceeding, your performance from what it was the previous time, that is the way you will achieve excellence. So get into that habit of looking at those minute details, attention to details that we say, and try and strive for excellence. You may reach 70%, 80%, 90%, but you will find that slowly you will be closer to the goals that you set for yourself. And it is always important to set yourself goals and try to work 100%, to give it 100%. And thereafter leave the rest. The result is not in your hand, but the amount of effort that you put in, it's surely in your hand. If you can go back home satisfied that I gave my 100%, I think you will have a good night's sleep and you will never repent. But even if you did very well, but you have that feeling, no, actually I shammed it out, I could have done better. 10 people can tell you, no, it was very good. It will keep pricking you in your heart that no, actually had more to give, but I did not give. So always strive to achieve, but don't get locked onto what you want. Because again, I'm going to quote Gita, Karmanyev adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So to work is your duty. What happens thereafter doesn't matter. If you work hard enough, you'll enjoy the journey. And it is the journey that matters and not the destination. Okay, that is what we should do. And, slowly you're going to grow. Today you must be observing your seniors, your professors. Must remember, all of us have something to teach each other. Sometimes somebody's actions will teach you or what to do. You always say, to look at that person, you get impressed and you feel, मैं बड़ा होके ऐसा ही करूँगा या करूँगी. And there are some people whom you see and you take a vow, कभी मैं अगर इस position में पहुँचा, ये तो कभी नहीं करूँगा या करूँगा. So none of us is perfect, just remember. None of us is perfect. And there is no point, talking about in thinking about कि किसने क्या किया क्या नहीं किया. Just pick up your lessons and move on. Don't try to put down a person or बाल की खाल मत उतारो. Learn your lessons. Whether it is good, follow it. If you don't like it, don't do it. But remember it, because what happens is, over a period of time, when we reach that stage, we tend to forget how we used to feel. So अगर आपको कोई बड़ा डांटता है, आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता, जब आप बड़े हो जाओ तो make sure कि आप छोटे को मत डांटो, प्यार से समझाओ. And just remember, there is no shortcut to success. If you want to succeed, you have to put in hard work. In Forge, we have a saying, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So that is what it is. If you keep at it, if you keep your hard work on, there is no way that you will not succeed in something. So please make sure that your push towards success is always on. Make sure that whatever you want to achieve in life, you have, in our work, like I'll talk about aviation, there is no chance for making a mistake and saying, you have to be extremely lucky that you make a big mistake and come out alive. So what do? So we practice and practice and practice. Some things are practiced in simulation. Some things you practice actually, because there you can, there's some safety pilot with you who will take over and help you. But we do practice. And then only we are confident that when an actual situation comes, I will be able to achieve. Like, for example, if I have to do a mission, I cannot actually carry bombs and drop bombs over a particular building. So what I do is, I practice my mission without carrying any load. I simulate those loads. Then some other day, when I'm closer to a open area, which we call a range, practice range, where you're allowed to drop actual weapons, in that I may not be able to follow the whole route, but I go and drop that weapon actually and see how it is. And similarly, I do certain things in a electronic warfare environment in some other area, so that I am actually exposed to everything. All I have to do now is stitch them all together on the final day. But it is a lot of practice that you're required to make sure that that final day is a success. So something like that in life, I think, if one has to succeed, you have to put in hard work. You put in now, maybe you'll enjoy later. You can enjoy now, struggle later. Choice is yours. But sometime you have to put in those few years of hard work, establish a good base. And the earlier you do, the better it is, because you're that much more receptive. If today I have to join a class with you all, I think I'll fail in almost every subject, because at above 60, I don't think much will go into my head. It's all hardwired now already. No more programming can work. But at your stage, you can do a lot of reprogramming. So align yourself, set yourself correct targets, and work towards that relentlessly. And wherever you reach, just remember, because we all, if you ask anybody what you want to be, somebody will say, I want to be this and that. We talk about posts, we talk about how much money I want to earn. We say everything else, but very rarely do we say, I just want to be a good human being first. I think that is very important. We grow in service, we grow in our job, we grow in life, and we tend to forget what basics were taught to us by our own parents and our teachers when we were young. Those basic values are very important, and that is what will bring in ethics into your dealing, whether you're in any kind of profession. So just remember those values of compassion, empathy, honesty, truthfulness, integrity, selflessness, whatever was taught to us by our parents, those must remain as our basic values. It is like, आप जो मर्जी खा लो, लेकिन साथ में पानी जरूर आना चाहिए थोड़ा बहुत. So they become the basics. Unless if you don't have them, you can become the best of professionals. But I'm telling you, if you're not a good human being, you'll always use your professional knowledge in the negative sense. So remember, whatever was taught to you by your parents, I think that is what will last with you forever. Another very important part is teamwork. In anything that we join, they say if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run long, run together. And this is very much applicable to defense forces because there is nothing that we do alone. There is no war that is fought alone. We are all fighting in collaboration with each other. It's like a game, a troop game, you can say, hockey, football, where you have to collaborate with each other to make a move. Something like that. In that, if you become selfish and only look at yourself and your gains, I don't think you will run a good team. No, none of your juniors, none of your team members are going to give you that respect if they find that you are working for your own good. Whenever you work for the system, you'll find everybody will get aligned. So always work for the system and not for your own personal gains. The only place where I can say, yes, teamwork will not be accepted by your principal, I think, is in the examination hall. Another point, I think I'm already exceeding my time. It's a very, we grow up with that feeling that special people, especially people like me who are in uniform, that only people in uniform are nationalists. I think that is a very wrong feeling that we grow up. Nationalism has got nothing to do with what you wear, how do you eat, what do you do. ये एक जज्बा है, nation first का जज्बा. And anybody in any profession, whether you're working somewhere, whether you got your own company, whether you're into business, whether you're into service, anything, you can give back to the nation. You can do something for your nation. And that can only come from heart. Nobody else can. But yes, if you can generate that in yourself, I'm sure because of you, 10 more people will become nationalists seeing you. And that is how it is. It's like a viral fever. One will have it and the other one will get it from that. And that is what is required in our country today. We need to make sure that whatever we do, wherever we reach, whatever job, whatever profile we have, what am I doing for the nation? मैं ये एग्जांपल भी देता रहता हूँ. पंजाबियों में स्पेशली सिख कम्युनिटी में एक दसवंत का ट्रेडिशन है कि भाई वॉट एवर यू अर्न 10% ऑफ योर अर्निंग शुड गो इनटू सेवा. So that if we can say certain percentage of me, when I say me means my time, my money, my capability will go towards nation building, whatever it may be, whatever field you choose. I think that is what is required. Anything you do, any stage of life you reach, just keep thinking, what am I doing for this nation? That is what I require. So somebody had made this statement. Again, I love this statement. It says that every soldier is a citizen in uniform, and every citizen is a soldier out of uniform. So we are all soldiers together. No nation can progress on one person's shoulders or one particular community or one particular profession. We all have to build this nation together. You all are the future. Think what you want to do, but wherever you go, whatever you do, carry positivity, be happy, be motivated, and it should not be linked to any physical terms कि अगर अच्छे marks आएंगे तो मैं खुश हूँ, आज थोड़े कम आ गए तो मैं दुखी हूँ. Just try to keep improving. If you're competing with your own self and every day you're better than what you were yesterday, even if it's a wee bit better, I think you're doing well. Your growth rate will always remain positive. And never ever get bogged down by what the results are. Just enjoy the journey, do your bit, leave the rest. Let whatever we call Almighty, God, superpower, जो भी उसको बुलाते हो, जो किस्मत में है वो होगा. They say you may not always get what you like, but you can always like what you get. So whatever happens in your life, make the best of that.